Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rizky Oktaviano, a 1901 8102 from K4-19. I would like to present my presentation about using Instagram as a peer review in a peer review activity in writing descriptive text for senior high school students by Jeffrey Bobby Sirait and Memleni Marlina. Next. Okay, we start about the pre-writing. Okay, let me okay, the abstract. There are three problems that students usually face in writing as follows. First, almost all of the students are non-acquaintance components of any kinds of writing. Second, the next problem that almost all of students have to face is grammar errors. Those problems above should be solved in order to make a better writing for the students. The purpose of this paper is to explain how Instagram can be used as a peer review tool for writing descriptive text to senior high school students. In addition, Ahmed stated that writing competence will help students to perform well in their academic program. In conclusion, writing in language learning is an ability that the students have to master because writing is very useful in education, business, and also daily life. Okay, we start with introduction. Okay, with pre-writing. According to Squire and Winner, pre-writing is a warming up activity before the writer starts to commit a topic. Therefore, pre-writing is an activity that the writer has to do uh, uh, before starting everything that they want to write. Those strategies are discussing ideas, exploring topic on internet, browsing the library, free associating, making a list, brainstorming some questions, sketching or diagramming the topic, and keeping a journal. Next, draft and writing. In this step, students start to make a rough draft their writing. According to Squire and Winner, there are tips for writing through a rough draft. Those tips are using pre-writing, writing a first draft, and showing it around. Next, sharing and responding. Sharing and responding is a step in writing process when the writer shares his or her writing to his or her friends. The writer asks his or her friends to review his or her writing. The process when the writer asks his or her friends to review the peer review activity. Next. Okay, we have revising and editing. In this step of writing process, there are two things that the writer has to do. According to REEP, revision takes place in the whole writing process, but the writer needs to focus on five elements. Those elements are content, organization, headings, opening and closing, and language. Editing is the final process in writing. After the writer do the revision, the writer has to edit the grammar, punctuation, and spelling. Next. Okay, last but not least, we have publishing. In this process, the writer will share their final draft in writing. This step could be done whether through many ways. The writer can do this stage by printing his or her final draft, or he or she also can make writing through online. Teaching writing in senior high school needs some varieties and interesting ways. For senior high school students, writing is a difficult thing to do because senior high school students in general lack in writing skill. According to Siswita and Hafiz, teachers has to carry out an attractive way in teaching writing because by using an attractive and something new in teaching writing can make senior high school students will be more interested in studying it. Next. Okay, we next to discussion section. Teaching descriptive to senior high school is descriptive text is actually one of the genre which is studied in the syllabus for senior high school grade 10 on basic competencies. In the syllabus, stated that students have to learn about descriptive text about people, tourism, and historical building. Furthermore, in teaching descriptive text for the senior high school grade 10, the author has already created the lesson plan related with the use of Instagram as a tool for online peer review activity in writing descriptive text for senior high school students. The lesson plan is divided into three parts, namely pre-teaching, while teaching, and post-teaching. In teaching descriptive text for senior high school students, there are three stages as explained below. Okay, the first stage is explaining about descriptive text and its parts. Before teacher explain about the descriptive text, teacher show a video about descriptive text itself and then continue to ask students some questions that related to the video. After that, the teacher show the students an example of descriptive text. Then the students are asked to read the text and comprehend the idea of that text. And then the teacher will ask the student about the generic structures and of the descriptive text. Students are asked to guess it first before answer it. Next, the generic structures are explained. The teacher will continue explaining the language features and social function of descriptive text. After that, the teacher explaining about the descriptive text, and the students asked to start writing their own descriptive text. Next. The second is writing the descriptive text about historical building. Okay, after students comprehend the descriptive text, they will be asked to write it. The students will be asked to write the descriptive text through some stages, namely brainstorming, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing, as we said before. First of all, the students are asked to power all the ideas through brainstorming. Whitaker says that brainstorming is write everything that you know about the topic, information, and opinions that related to your topic. Next, the students done with their brainstorming, they will continue to next stage, namely drafting. The students will start their project from the draft. There will be more than one draft used in order to make good writing. Therefore, drafting will take longer time to do. Next. Okay, the last, revising the descriptive text. In revising, there will be three steps: self-revising, pair revising, and group revising. In the revising stage, the students will do self-revision first. The first draft will be revised through self-revision. After students sure with what his or her done, she or he has to give the first draft to the other students to revise it. Then, after the first draft revised by other students, it will be revised to the writer in order to revise it and writer the second draft. After second draft being revised, becoming the third draft, it will be revised through group online revision using Instagram. The procedure of group revision will be explained later. At the first, the group revision will be done in the classroom first, then it will be continued outside the classroom, and so on. Next. Okay, we move to discussion. Okay, how to use Instagram in making descriptive text. First, you have to make an account. Next, and then you send your writing to the admin of the group class account. Next, and then they will be giving feedback and comments to you. Next, here are the advantages of using Instagram as an online peer review tool. First, Instagram is proposed to increase students' motivation in writing. Next, Instagram also convenient and easy to be used. Next, using Instagram as online peer review tool needs less paper. Next, using Instagram as online peer review tool is more flexible in using time. Next, social media services allow for multimedia interaction. Next, the students will take responsibility for their own works. Next, Okay, so these are the limits and disadvantages which is may appear in using Instagram as online peer review tool. You might have you have to have need a smartphone, PC or laptop. Next, you also need internet connection. Next, the students will spare more time on playing computer games and chatting online. Writing tasks online will lead students to copy paste. Next, using Instagram will also motivate students to write. Next, using Instagram has three features that are applicable for writing problems. Next, Instagram will use less paper because it will be done through online. Next, using Instagram will be efficient in spending time because it can be done anywhere. Okay, so steps that should be followed in order to apply Instagram as a tool for online peer review activity in writing descriptive text. Revise draft that have been done by the students after peer revision is given to the admin of group class account. Next, the admin will post each of the draft on Instagram. Each draft will be posted on the Instagram class account. Next, after the draft has been posted, other students are asked to give their comments or feedback for the draft we make. After the due time comes, the students will submit the final draft to the teacher. Next. Okay, here are some suggestions. For other author, in this paper using Instagram as a tool for online peer review activity is still for descriptive text only. This technique actually can be applied to other genres of the text, such as narrative, recount, procedure, and also and so on, so on, so on. Next, in addition, this paper is addressed to senior high school grade 10. This technique probably also can be used for other levels such as grade 11, 12, or even for junior high school students. Next. For teachers, they are suggested to be accustomed in using Instagram in order to make the process of the teaching and learning setting go smoothly. Next. As for students, they are suggested to be accustomed in doing online peer review activity in order to make their skill in writing getting improved. Next. Okay, so this is the quote that I believe belong to this presentation. So the quote is, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams" by Eleanor Roosevelt. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Rizky. That's a good presentation. Okay, before we move to the next presentation,